Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. My name is Vaadwaur, and with me once again is...
Megalomaniac, hello, Internet.
Good day. So, last time we infiltrated a...
Shadow Moses.
Yeah, we infiltrated the...
Just call it Shadow Moses, you know you want to.
Nah, the Vaadwaur base that we were looking for, and discovered what seemed to be... controlling the Vaadwaur command staff.
Spoilers, it was giant bug parasite things.
Yep.
They're really gross.
Yeah, and then with that information in mind, we turned around and decided that, we really need to work on making an alliance with the rest of the races of the Delta Quadrant, and we helped out with the diplomacy.
Better than the Voyager cast did.
Well, we were also doing it with the Voyager cast.
Yeah, except Seven, she had her shit together.
Oh yeah, she knew what she was doing.
Tell which actress is the most highly paid of them. No, I'm just kidding.
So now we're going
more
back
patrol missions.
We're doing more patrol missions. Yep.
I'm gonna sit here and play with my Captain Marvel action figure.
All right.
You can do the patrol missions. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're in this suicide pact together.
All right. Yeah, something like that. All right, so it's a distress call from some Borg vessels in the area.
Please be cooperative. Please be cooperative. Yep, it's cooperative.
Excellent.
Dude, he has a cyborg eye patch. That's awesome looking.
Yeah, you can. That's one of the options you can get for a liberated Borg.
So the Vaadwaur are trying to attack the cooperative.
So we can, while we're fighting back the Vaadwaur, we can also help repair the damage to the.
You tank them, I'll repair.
All right.
Or they can shoot me.
That's okay. I should be. Come on. Oh, didn't activate fire at will. All right. Start getting their attention in a moment here.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, and then just over time, you need to keep repairing them.
Okay, so I should probably turn down my game volume because I can't hear you.
Oh, whoops! Yeah, that might not be good.
I don't know how that got turned back up, but whatever. There we go. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I leave the volume pretty low, and then sort of adjust.
I don't know how it got turned back up because, unlike last week, I didn't have a completely new computer and reinstall the game.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Ooh, don't like being in this. Yeah, I exploded.
Whoops.
A flash of light.
Oh, yeah, that's the solar flares, which is why the...
Wait, shit, we're fighting Tien?
Yes.
We're screwed, man. Tien's like the most powerful character in all of Dragon Ball.
No.
He's the most powerful human in all of Dragon Ball.
I don't even think that's true either.
I think he actually is.
Are
assuming he's actually human, which I think he is, even though he has the 3-eye thing.
Are you sure? Because I thought that...
I'm pretty sure he's stronger than Krillin, who would be the only other one.
Well, wasn't there, one of the girls?
Android 18's not really human.
Well, no, I wasn't meaning that. Was it Videl? Or
Vidal's...
Or is she an alien?
Vidal's not very... No, Vidal's human, but she's not, that strong.
Okay, I'm probably thinking about someone else then.
She's
Although,
she's stronger than the average human, but she's not she can't fire ki blasts and crap.
Okay, maybe I think about someone else, or maybe I'm just forgetting entirely. It's not like I've watched a whole lot of it, and the last time I have, it's been many years.
And it was probably dubbed.
Well, yeah, nothing wrong with that.
But the dub was wrong. They got the over 9,000 thing wrong because it was over 8,000. As we all know, like, missing by 1,000 just means all their credibility is gone.
Meh.
I am, of course, being hyperbolic.
That. Sure.
Yes.
Let's just go with that.
Anyway, I'll double check later. I think Tien actually is like the strongest normal human in Dragon Ball.
Also, everyone knows that really the strongest normal human is Hercule.
Yes, Mr. Satan is actually the strongest human. You're right.
Yeah,
because he's pals with Mr. Boo.
He is. Everyone knows that he is the real hero.
Yes. Okay, the solar flare actually is really annoying. It's like flashbangs.
Yeah, and it has a chance every time it triggers to cause an internal fire. The cube is also offline, so it probably needs some repairs.
Sure. Try to zoom over to it. / zoom away from them.
Oh yeah, in this week's patch, Cryptic adjusted the heavy artillery vessels so that when they go into their assault mode, they actually use the same visual effect that player ships have now. Which is,
nice.
Yeah, it actually is pretty nice because it's a neat effect.
Okay. Stop shooting them. I don't want to attract attention while I'm trying to repair the... Okay, cube's back online.
Yay. Actually, this week's patch had some really nice stuff in it in general, like a whole bunch of...
Didn't they up a ton of rewards?
Yeah,
well, not a ton, but...
Overall, every mission...
Rewards.
Yeah, every mission will now give at least some dilithium. A little less on replays, but still a decent amount. In fact, if I am remembering right, when we complete these patrols, like each one of these patrols is going to be something like either 340 or 480, which is still quite a lot of dilithium.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard them talking before about them wanting to they have more dilithium for single-player content.
Yes. So there's more options available for that. They also, in general, increased skill point gains in many parts of content. Like they readjusted how much XP you'll get from doing these patrols. Basically, prorating them on how long each patrol is, or generally should be.
So we're going to crap ton from this one because we're fighting like 5 waves of...
Yeah, this one should actually offer us quite a bit. There's also... they added more ways to get some of the elite currencies if you want to do single-player content. Like, if you want to get the Borg neuroprocessors, you can now get them from certain higher-end open missions in the Deferi Adventure Zone. And if you need the ancient power cells from the for the Delta sets, there's now 2 open missions on Kobali Prime, which will award them once per day. So that's...
Yay.
Yeah, actually, it is actually pretty nice. Yeah, it's still only 2 per day, but it's still 2 per day, especially when...
Given open missions don't take terribly long.
Yeah, like that's the big thing. And it's And actually, the two open missions, technically, the two open missions for the Kabali ones, you kind of need to. Well, someone needs to actually be on the mission for them, but those missions are also basically go and do this open mission.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. So it's not that big of a deal, but it is still very nice, and it will help me because I need to finish grinding out enough parts for that for the space set, because I definitely want the space set for my carrier builds.
Mm-hmm.
So
I believe it is double XP weekend.
It is a double
bonus XP, I should say.
It is
I don't know if it's actually double.
I think it's a double, but it's whatever. It's a bonus XP weekend. So you'll get a lot of extra XP doing content all around the game. Although the XP weekend will be mostly finished by the time folks see this episode, unfortunately. But again, generally speaking, XP.
If you're watching this Sunday, go do it now. Just spend all night. You don't need sleep. You don't need eating.
Spend some time grinding out XP for.
You don't need to spend time with your loved ones
for specialization points because.
I'm just kidding. Don't be a creepy psycho. Yeah, I got 480 lithium from that, by the way.
Excellent.
Yeah, don't be a creepy psycho MMO addict. It's not fun.
All right. It must be a. That one with the XP bonus, we only got about as much specialization points as we would have gotten normally. So this mission actually had a pretty hefty drop.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the amount of SP you get from killing the ships went up. So it was probably a net gain overall.
Yeah, if I'd been smart, I would have actually been following my bar.
Yeah,
but I wasn't.
I didn't look at how much I'd had when I went in.
Yeah. So next is the Zal system, sorry.
Okay.
Down a little.
And that mission actually got me 30% of the way through the last tier for my Samsar. So next week I'll probably be ready to fly a new ship.
It's going to be a command battleship. You already bought them.
Yeah, it'll be one of the command battleships, the command battlecruisers, because they look real nice.
And there's a ship sale this weekend too. So.
Yes. In fact, the ship sale was a little bit longer than a week, longer than the weekend. I think it's going to be about a week, but it ends Tuesday, I think.
Oh, couldn't wait till next Friday when I get paid.
Yeah, I know.
I have the money. It's just I feel better if I've just gotten paid.
Yeah,
I know it's really silly. But.
It is a good. It's a good sale too. It's their normal 20% off all ships. The command battlecruisers are actually included with them being 15% off instead of 20. But the nicest thing is that they are also putting. They are also putting the ship upgrade tokens and the items for buying the fleet ships on sale for 20% off. And if you buy any Tier 5 ship, it comes with a free upgrade token. And that includes the bundles. The only ships that are not on sale are any bundles which include non-ship bonuses.
Basically, the really expensive, the Delta Alliance.
Yeah, the expansion bonus ones, and the DS9 one, the Enterprise one, and there's another one. There was another one I can't remember offhand, but yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, but basically. Any bundle which is just ships is 20% off, except for the. Don't want to fly into that.
No.
Yeah. Any bundle which is just ships is 20% off, except for the command battlecruiser one, which is 15% off.
15.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tempted to buy one of the command battle, just one of the command battle cruisers, but I'm still mulling it over. See if I cave.
They're nice ships.
They're nice ships. I'd have to grind up some beams and
Yeah, I can see that.
kind of rejigger my everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I could also get the Phantom, which wouldn't really require rejiggering my everything.
Yeah, it is a nice ship too.
I'm just not crazy about how it looks.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this before. I really want them to do what they did to the Voyager with the Pathfinder and do that to the Defiant.
Yeah, I agree. I would like them to do that. Oh, you're flying that way? Okay.
Nah, I was just turning around. Actually, there are guys over there.
Yeah, it's basically in either end of the.
So which way do you want to go first?
the-
You're facing this way, and you take too long to turn, so we'll go this way.
Yeah, I would like them to do another bundle like the like another bundle and another rebuild like they did for the Voyager, and do it for the Defiant. But
Yeah.
like the Phantom is basically a tier 6 Defiant. Like it even looks a lot like the Defiant, even if it's not as small. So, like, yeah, I would really like to see them do that, but like the only way that they could do it and have it be its own niche is if they made it a command escort instead of an intel escort, which is also a thing that they should probably do anyway. Cause
Also, as I was saying, either ditch the console cloak or at least upgrade it to be Romulan standard.
yeah,
Because that makes sense because it was a Romulan cloak.
yep,
Because
yeah, it was. So
I am that much of a DS9 nerd, but
yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they should. Yes, because I understand why the Federation.
But for my game balance issue, it's not worth a console slot.
At the very least, like they should do something. I should probably look at the cloak console again just to make sure that it doesn't do this. But like, if they're going to make it be a console, they should at the very least make the console have a passive bonus as well. Which is something that Cryptic has started doing more. They're still not consistent about it, but they're getting better about having if a console is like a set console, have it be at least giving a side benefit and not just be a active ability.
Yeah. Also, hey, the Vaadwaur are attacking the board again.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I guess when you have a bunch of races who want to kick your ass, you go after the most powerful one first.
I'm not even sure. I would say that the cooperative are the most powerful because they are still kind of being harassed on multiple fronts anyway.
Yeah. Oh, we want out of here.
Yeah, we don't really want to be in that range. So, I think, like, first off, the cooperative is pretty small. Like, it's still a very small group, relatively speaking.
Yeah, I guess the most powerful would probably actually be the Alpha Quadrant forces. It's just they can't really reach them.
Yeah, like, they would have to go through the Dyson Sphere, and we still have a pretty strong hold on that.
That would be like a bunch of orcs trying to run through a small hallway.
Yeah. But like more importantly, like the cooperative are also still being harassed by the Okanti, who actually have a very effective weapon against them. And for folks that have done
the iMod, I mean,
yeah, and for folks that have done the queued missions, the Voth have a very, very effective anti-Borg weapon as well. So
yeah.
Right. Why can't? Are you repairing that ship?
I am repairing them now.
Okay. For some reason, it wasn't.
Repairing.
I think all we need to do is just send the repair crews. Now we can.
They kind of repair themselves.
Yeah, they take care of themselves. I don't think we have to. I actually don't even think we have to pick them back up.
They can catch right out.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're all part of the same group. What was I thinking? Although I guess also, like, basically the only Intel ships they ever released were the initial set. So
far, yeah.
So I'm wondering whether they will ever release more, or whether they're going to only release the specialization ships in limited batches. I'm kind of thinking that that's what they're going to do.
Starfleet at least has a good niche. I really want them to do more Klingon and Romulan ones.
Yeah, I need to do the math on it.
As someone who plays a Romulan science character, I have two options for science ships.
Mm-hmm. And
like actual science-ass science ships. Which, to be fair, I'm not running a science ship. I'm running basically an escort. But
I mean, like, I was also telling you earlier, like, I need to run the math just to be absolutely sure about that. But as things seem to stand right now, something like at least 70%, probably 80% of all the Tier 6 ships, including non-C-Store ones, like the prize ships, are battle cruisers.
Yeah.
So, like, there are a lot of cruisers, and while I don't necessarily mind there being cruisers because that's what I fly, like, I kind of would like a rest so I can start leveling other ships, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, there's a lot
to be fair, that is what Trek's kind of known for.
It is, absolutely. But at the same time, like, there are a lot of people who fly other types of ships. Like, I'm sure that Klingon players would like to have a Tier 6 Klingon carrier or a Tier 6 Klingon bird of prey. Like, they have basically
they have a Raptor.
Yeah, the Klingons' only escort is a Raptor.
To be honest, as playing birds of prey, they kind of taper off eventually, where it's like, I switch to a cruiser.
Yeah, but also, like, the bird of preys, they got that like, they're the ones that get flanking. So
yeah, sure, that was before they got flanking, so I didn't really get to play around with that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it's just they focused on cruisers at first.
It's just a little on the frustrating side, especially when you consider that like a bunch of the ones that the Klingons got for the initial release were types they had already had. Like the Tier 6 battlecruiser that the Klingons got for the launch of Delta Rising was basically a remake of the Moog class.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm okay with that because, like, the Fayette,
yeah,
the Romulan one, is basically a remake of the Tavaro.
Yeah,
which is okay.
I'm just a little on the sad side that there aren't more, like, not necessarily canon designs, although, like, I think I mentioned this last week, but the fact that the initial T6 release didn't include the Typhoon, it's like, what is Cryptic doing? Like,
no one wants the Typhoon.
I want the Typhoon. Yeah, no one wants the Jupiter.
You also want a Vengeance, but we're not getting that.
Oh my god, the Vengeance would be the perfect opportunity for them to finally make the max level Constitution class that people keep clamoring for.
Yeah, we know they can't do that.
Which is just, I don't know, maybe they're working on it. It is absolutely a rights issue because the movies are generally with Paramount, not with CBS. So they need more work to get the rights for those. I mean, it's not to say that it's impossible because they have some movie stuff inside the game.
It's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
On a much smaller scale, mind you.
Yeah. So
clearly Paramount just needs to like make a complete bomb of a movie, then they'll get to talk to CBS and they'll bring, Chris Pine's Captain Kirk to Star Trek universe. Wait.
Yeah, so I mean I really want a Vengeance because I think that is a really neat design. Also, I think that some of the looks and feels of some of the stuff in the J.J. Abrams movies, like I just would really like to have those in Star Trek Online. Like, I really like the phaser Gatling guns. Yeah, they're like maybe it's the turrets, but like they generally fire a lot faster, and I would actually really like to have that as an optional effect.
Hey, I'm using a tractor beam without actually having a tractor beam power.
Hey, I mean, all these ships have tractor beams. It's just you can't necessarily use them unless you have the power.
Yeah, you can't use them offensively.
Yes.
Okay, let's not do that.
I can take it.
No, I wasn't worried about you. I was worried about the hospital ship.
Oh. Yeah, apparently they don't care.
Look, I'm just saying there's a reason the rebels fired the ion cannon before sending out the transports. To use the Star Wars reference.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Don't know why I confuse this.
Yeah, why would you? My goodness.
You know what? I got a new shelf today, and I have the Star Wars trilogy right next to the Star Trek trilogy. So that being 2, 3, 4. Wrath of Khan, which you still haven't seen yet.
No,
probably.
I haven't. I will eventually. Should. I was actually just thinking earlier today that I should redouble my search for like the movie box sets.
Yeah, I got the 2, 3, 4 one at Walmart for like $12. So, I got $720.
Yeah, this one was $720 and like 7,000 expertise.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good amount.
So
I know they have a full on all 10 movie box set for like close to $100, which $10 a movie is actually not that bad.
Actually, yeah, like absolutely.
Except the fact that Star Trek 1, 5, and 10 are not worth actual money, but
because I think that's a box set I actually got for my dad. Right, so Ramizad is the next one.
Yep, Ramrod.
Yeah, so that's the box that I got for my dad a few years ago, and I've been looking for that one again, and every time I look, it just doesn't show up. So I will eventually.
Amazon has it.
I will eventually find it.
Yeah, I just wanted 2, 3, 4, and 6, and 8. I need to get 8 still.
For me, it's just I would like to get them all as just for collection purposes. Like, yes, I acknowledge that some of them are real bad.
This time we're saving Benthans.
Huh. Two Borg missions and then a Benton mission.
If there'd been a third Borg mission, it would have been a Smorgasbord. Today's bad puns brought to you by the letter B. Actually, that really raises the question, like, do people know what a smorgasbord is anymore?
You know what, like, the phrase is so commonplace that I'm sure folks at least understand the cultural context. They may not necessarily understand the actual meaning, but I'm sure that
Yes.
if you were to say to someone,
It's like I was thinking about this the other day. It's like I'm betting 50 years from now, applying the word gate to some kind of controversy is going to be completely the original Watergate context of that's just going to be completely forgotten.
yeah, probably.
I find that kind of thing interesting. Okay, so we're deputized to kill the Vaadwaur, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, we weren't doing that anyway.
Well, let's take care of that.
We're going to hide behind an asteroid, apparently. Hide behind an asteroid.
It automatically started the next phase.
Okay, good.
Yeah, once you reach there, the Vaadwaur ship basically starts leaking plasma and attracts the Vaadwaur ships, and then we get to blow them up.
That's the part we're good at.
Oh yeah,
Leaving destruction in our wake.
yeah, we are surprisingly skilled at that.
Why surprisingly?
I mean, technically, as members of Starfleet, we should not necessarily be all that great at blowing things up. They don't tend to do that a lot.
I don't know about you. I joined the Academy to get a starship with giant guns on it.
Meh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could end all life on a planet if I wanted to.
Well, I don't think you would need much of a starship to be able to do that. No.
Nah, I mean, Cisco did it. That was cool.
I'm pretty sure that any sort of orbital bombardment with phasers would be pretty devastating.
Yeah, it actually speaks to Star Trek's technology to the point where, I'm pretty sure normal photon torpedoes could actually obliterate all life on a planet if they wanted to.
Yeah, probably. Well, again, it's just one of those things where they don't need to do that.
I mean, granted, Star Wars is the same thing. Even without the Death Star, there is stuff where Star Destroyers could just glass a planet.
Yeah,
If you ever played KOTOR, that happens in End of Act 1. Spoilers.
Yeah,
spoilers for 10-year-old video game.
The Death Star is just a little overboard.
Well, and I don't know if this still counts because of them changing the canon. But before, the idea of the Death Star was basically not to practically destroy a planet, but to just be a symbol of fear.
Oh yeah, because this. I mean, to be quite simple, destroying planets is not a very good use of resources. Because you have now lost, in fact, those resources.
Yes, and in fact, in the old canon, which might not apply anymore, post Alderaan exploding, saw a bunch of people join the rebellion because.
Yep. In fact, I'm not
they
even.
Blew up planets.
I think that is actually that is probably still in the real canon.
It probably. I'm
pretty sure something like that would have been brought up in either I am pretty sure something like that would have been brought up
story of the movies.
Or at the very least in the movies.
I don't remember it in the movies, but the thing is, at this point, the new canon consists of the movies, the Clone Wars cartoon, the Rebels cartoon, a novel, and a comic book series, I think, so it's kind of dicey. Okay. Right. Finished that one. Another 480 dilithium. Yeah, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, these are these are actually being pretty profitable.
Yeah.
To go with the dilithium being added to them, these missions now also have a 30-minute cooldown after you complete them, so you can't just run the same one over and over and over again. But at the same time, a fairly simple path can get you quite a lot of dilithium real quickly. So what's our next one?
See, is that one in this or the next one? Okay, they're both the next sector block, which is a good segue to talk about something.
Okay. Well, since you're the one starting it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they posted the details about how they are getting rid of the sector walls.
They did, yes, and it's looking quite interesting. I think there's actually two very interesting things on that, in my opinion. One of which is first one is they were talking a lot about how a lot of the planets in the alpha and beta quadrants are fudged a little bit, or in some cases a lot, to fit them where they are, to go with like the star maps that we have in the game currently.
Also, next one's Ziokel system once you get down here.
Excellent.
I think I accidentally hit my transwarp, which is why I got here before you. But
Whoops. Yeah. So there's they have in the blog post for it a set of maps where it shows basically where the planets are moving to, and yes, basically like I would say 80% of the planets in the alpha and beta quadrants are moving. To have them be in a much more canon correct location, but I still just find it very interesting how much is moving and how some of them are moving a fairly large distance.
yeah,
The second thing, though, I find very interesting is they're also changing the scale. So what's going to start happening is that you're no longer so much going to be seeing systems in the maps. You're now going to be more seeing planets. So
yeah. Like for example, if you're looking at our screen now, like the size of what that sun is right now is actually going to be about the size of new planets.
yes, basically.
So
The planets are still going to be not quite properly in scale to your ship.
No, because that would be insane.
Yeah, because that like they want space to feel big, but they don't want it to be quite that big. Like because the fact still remains is that when you're flying through sector space, you are still flying through an approximation of real space, and also you're flying through it in at warp. So
did we end up in different ones?
nope,
there you are.
Okay, excellent. It's just I guess it just took me a little longer to load in.
Yeah. This is our story one, by the way.
Right. All right. Oh, it's okay. So we're doing this one.
Do you say that frighteningly excitedly?
No, not really. Like this one is very. This mission is very Romulan.
So you're saying I should go get the Romulan character and do this? Except I'd have to do like 3 more missions.
Yeah. But yeah, like the change in scale is very fascinating to me. Because yeah, like to go with this, they are definitely changing how basically how you start missions. So generally speaking, you will now start missions at the planets and not really at the sector or at the system. One of the nice things about that change though is that it's going to add a lot more attachment points for user generated missions if so desired.
They're also having they mentioned this. They're taking the existing like quadrant sectors and they're having to expand some of them to like make entirely new sectors.
Yeah, which conveniently they were also saying like a lot of the planets that they have to move are conveniently being moved into their correct sector blocks, which
mostly
like there are some where they're like there's definitely a lot where they have to make up a new planet. Well, let me rephrase that. They aren't necessarily making a new planet. They're just putting planets that didn't already exist in the game. So here we go. But what we're basically doing is the Benton and Hazari are currently having a bit of an argument about being in the Alliance, and Commander Sahin wants us to bring this ship as a dummy and basically have them. Basically attack them to get them to work together.
So I'm pretty sure we're technically committing a war crime right now.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay. I'm okay with that. I'm just...
Yeah, I mean, I figured you would. But yeah, like, people should probably look up that blog post, because it's very interesting. Like, I like what they're doing.
Yeah, they mentioned, like, even looking up, like, actual planets, like, real-world existing planets in some cases where they would, appropriately be.
Yeah. Because, yeah, like, one of the maps, which actually fascinates me the most, the one that shows the, basically the Klingon block of the Beta Quadrant, basically has, like, if you kind of look at the, if you actually look at the adjustments, you kind of see that, like, I don't know, something like 90% of all the Klingon planets are, like, dozens of light years away from where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of funny.
Though they also mentioned in one case, like, one planet, they know it's in the wrong place,
Yes.
but they keep it that way just because of the mission flow.
Yeah, there's one planet that they intentionally are leaving in the wrong location because because it's one of the tutorial planets, so they needed to be in a specific location in order to make the mission flow work. So unfortunately, they're just shrugging their shoulders and saying, "Oh, all right, fine."
Q moved it because he was bored.
It's already in a bad location. This isn't actually making it any worse. But yeah, it's the blog post on how they're changing this thing, how they're changing all these is quite fascinating. I'm actually very much interested in it. Now, two other things that they said is so right now players know that when you have a mission, there's the you now have an option to either transwarp to the location or automatically, conveniently, bringing that dummy ship brought some real Vaadwaur. How about that?
I'm sure it was all part of her plan because she's a bitchy Romulan sneak.
Yep, quite possibly.
She's a Romulan version of Franklin Drake.
Yeah, you know what? I think that she and Drake would get along pretty well.
They're probably making half Romulan and half human babies right now. And they'll come out of the womb like wearing 007 spy gear. Sorry, Jason Bourne spy gear.
Right. Okay.
Because Franklin Drake is not 007; he's Jason Bourne.
So, anyway,
not actually Jason Bourne, but from Jason Bourne. Yeah, back to the map stuff.
So what will happen is they will still have that capability. You can still transwarp to the mission location, but the way it'll work is it'll now be more context sensitive. If it detects that you are far away from where that mission is, it will offer you the ability to just transwarp to it, or you can just fly directly to that mission if it is possible to do so when it is not in an entirely different quadrant. The other thing as well is that the normal transwarp abilities are being adjusted to bring you to the planet or directly to the station, as opposed to the system block that it did before. Except for a handful of instances, but generally speaking, it will bring you a little closer and be a little bit more logical. So it's very interesting. Yes, that one was 480 ore.
Yeah, she totally called the Vaadwaur to attack us, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Romulan Franklin Drake now.
Yeah, she probably arranged all that. But yeah, I've ever since that they originally were talking about bringing down the sector walls, like, I have to be quite honest, like years ago, I've been very, very interested in that. So where's our next location?
Kelsit, it's down below, toward the southern area.
Yep, seen. Flying down there.
Right near... Yeah, you found it.
Yeah. So I was very fascinated in seeing how they would work that out, and I'm glad to see them sort of announce their plans, because it's really neat. I'm looking forward to that change. Didn't say when it would be coming into place, but of course it'll be a while.
Given they're talking about it, it'll probably be in the next couple of weeks.
A month or so. I don't know, because with how big of a change that is, like I would imagine that would be season 10 stuff, but I don't know.
Maybe.
They also said that they were going to change the astrometrics for sector space a little bit. Like again, you can still turn off astrometrics if you so desire, but
the grid's actually going to be like
the grid,
an actual unit of distance.
Yes,
now.
so each
1 light year.
Each major grid line is now going to be 1 light year to show an actual scale of distance between planets. They're also getting rid of these space roads because they're just kind of silly.
They don't do anything.
Yeah, they're silly and meaningless, so they're just going to get rid of those. They mentioned this before, but they've also done new tech to allow duty officer missions to be area sensitive. So, because like the way it is right now is that generally speaking,
I think they already have that.
They do have that for some stuff, yes. Like if you are in the Sirius sector block, so just outside of Earth space dock, if you are floating around the map feature that used to be the nebula, you will now get the nebula missions, whereas if you are flying anywhere else in Sol, you don't get those nebula missions. Okay, good. We're in the same mission again.
Yay, we're saving Talaxians this time.
Oh, I think I know what this one is. Yeah, so they're holding a convoy of satellites, and
so they got a great big convoy across the USA.
Across the Delta Quadrant.
Delta Quadrant's like the USA.
Yeah,
plenty of peoples.
So
big jerks trying to assimilate you who won't shut up.
So they... Alright, there we go. So now we gotta set up these defense satellites. And, we got just 2-ish minutes to get these satellites all... Come on. To get these satellites armed and configured. And then we'll help them defend themselves from the Vaadwaur that they so foolishly insulted.
Come on, get closer.
Yeah, you gotta do quite a lot to actually set up these satellites. Come on. Is it? Am I just not close enough or something?
Yeah, you kind of have to be kind of close.
Well, it's showing me. It's just it's still like it's sort of hanging on calibrate the safeties. So yeah, it's I don't know. For some reason, it's sort
These
of.
turrets better be really good for as long as they're taking to set up.
What was that?
I said these turrets better be really good for as long as they're taking to set up.
Yeah, hopefully. I remember them actually. I do remember them actually being fairly effective. And if I remember correctly, once there are a few waves, and I think we do get more opportunities to set up between waves. generally speaking, to be fair though, with the two of us, this actually probably shouldn't be that big of a deal. Alright, yeah, so
I think we got a fair number of them up.
yeah, for me, like I probably could have put a few more up, but it sort of glitched on me. Oh well, like again, like the mission isn't that hard.
I'm a turret too. Pew 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 pew.
The mission when I did this originally, like I didn't necessarily find the mission that difficult, and on top of that, it's still much like your typical Star Trek Online mission, where it actually kind of doesn't matter because it's not like you can fail it.
Don't break the illusion of difficult gameplay.
Oh, it can still be difficult, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can fail it.
No, the only fail condition in this game right now is rage quitting.
Well, no, because there are
this mission, I mean.
yes, like in normal missions, there's not going to be anything quite like that. But like absolutely, there are missions with very stringent fail conditions. Most, if not all, special task forces. Like any queued mission will have a fail condition.
Now, yeah. Before they weren't.
Before they didn't necessarily have one. Like the one that's.
I don't think you used to be able to fail infected space normal. You might have been able to, maybe.
No, you couldn't. You couldn't fail infected space normal before. You couldn't fail. You couldn't fail atmospheric assault. You couldn't fail. There were a lot that you.
Insert a joke about how you failed atmospheric assault by queuing for it.
Yes, yep, that is true. There were also a lot where you didn't necessarily fail them. It's just that you didn't do well. Like you can't fail Starbase 24. You can just not do well at Starbase 24. Mm-hmm. You can't fail. If I remember correctly, you can't fail the one with the gate. You just don't do well at it.
The Alachi one with the gate?
Yeah, you're trying to close the Iconian gate. You couldn't fail that one. You just couldn't do well. You originally couldn't fail Crystalline Catastrophe. It just sort of got to. It basically would get to a point where it was unwinnable. You could make it unwinnable, but you couldn't fail it.
It sucked pretty badly making it unwinnable. Well, not you personally, but you had to be with a pretty crappy team to make it unwinnable.
Well,
which I know you were a few times. But
there were after they did the first rebuild of it, it was basically at the point where you needed to be like the group needed to be like really bad, or you missing a lot of like core pieces in order for the mission to be considered unwinnable. The second time they rebuilt it, which was as part of Delta Rising, where they rebuilt all queues, to be quite honest, there are easy ways to fail it, and it's harder to make it unwinnable. Although, like, again, to be fair, they made it easier to just straight up lose. Mm-hmm. But if you straight up lose Crystalline Catastrophe through that means, like, you are a bad player. So yeah, because the lose condition now of Crystalline Catastrophe, at the very least, if you're doing it on advanced, the lose condition is to let like more than 30%. No, Yeah, it's like if more than 30% of either 30% or 50% of the all the players were to be killed by the explosion that it has twice during the mission, then you just straight up fail. And like, yeah, but no one should die to that. Like, if you do, you're really doing something wrong. Like, it's not that hard. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why every ship has evasive maneuvers.
I know. Turn around, hit evasive maneuvers, and run away from it.
Yeah, it's not difficult.
So, yay! Finished the patrol.
Okay, well, that's we're hitting our.
That's about an hour.
Yeah, so we'll call it at that point. Yeah, and that should be about it for us for this week, unless there's something else you want to talk about.
Just moment of silence for the loss of the great Leonard Nimoy today.
Yep.
Great actor.
And just a great person as well.
Great person, yeah. I never met him, but I'm just, he had that air about him. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, the world will miss him.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
That's for everybody out there, not, Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.